Channel Payments Manager extension, or CPM for short, allows you to integrate your Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central software to Stripe's digital payment platform. This gives you the freedom to work with an external solution that meets your payment processing and collection needs while still being able to use your ERP system. CPM is embedded directly within your Business Central environment, allowing for a streamlined communication between Business Central and Stripe. A primary component of setting up your CPM solution is the setup and configuration of what is called the payment platform. The payment platform contains the necessary links and credentials for you to access your external Stripe account. The payment platform also has a number of setup and configuration options that allow you to determine the manner in which payments are retrieved and processed in Business Central. Now we're looking at the payment platform, or a payment platform on my screen here, and it's been set up to reflect all of my desired business processes. The process of configuring these different options is explained in other how-to videos, which I would encourage you to review. The other activity that you need to complete before you can start to retrieve information from Stripe is the linking of Business Central customers to Stripe customers. Optionally, this same process can be performed for products, but this is only required if you want to use CPM to generate subscription invoices. I'll talk a little bit about that later. The linking of customers is not really optional. You must perform this step in order to effectively send data between Business Central and Stripe. In order to facilitate this linkage, separate records called CPM customers and CPM products, respectively, are created for a payment platform. This video will walk you through the process of setting up these records. As I mentioned, the linking of customers is mandatory. It's certainly the more critical of the two, so we'll start there. There are a couple of ways in which you can link customers, but the most efficient and recommended one, especially when you're deploying CPM for the first time, is to retrieve all customers from Stripe. So if we choose the related ribbon and then select customers, you can see we have no CPM customer links defined for this channel, or this platform, I should say. We've closed the page. Now we're going to navigate to the Actions ribbon and choose the Retrieve Customers action. CPM will retrieve all customer records from the connected Stripe platform. And if we now open the Customers page, we can see here they are. The Payment Platform ID field presents the ID, the Stripe ID that has been assigned to this customer. You can see we have retrieved other information from Stripe, email, company name, description, etc. In order to link these records to Business Central customers, we want to use this customer number field. This provides a lookup of customer records, and we can choose the desired one. If we wish, we can also link a CPM customer link record to a specific contact. And that's important to note because Stripe doesn't really have the concept of a customer contact relationship that we have in Business Central. So multiple contacts from the same company would be entered as separate customers in Stripe. So what we're able to do here is assign multiple Stripe customers to the same Business Central customer, but different contacts. For example, you can see from Stripe, we've obtained 2 records from a Datum Corporation, but you can see that they're actually 2 separate people. So in this scenario, we could assign them both to the same customer, but then unique contacts as needed. As I stated, the retrieve customers action is the easiest way to populate this table. And I won't walk through this now, but I just want to mention it is perfectly possible to manually enter data in this table as well. So for example, if you were in your Stripe payment platform and you had a new, you set up a new customer, you could copy that customer's ID, set up a new line here, paste it, enter the other information, and create the link as needed. One other thing I would like to show here is that it's possible to open a customer card from this page by picking either the edit or view options. This card presents the same fields that we had on the list. We could also assign values here if we wish. It also includes a few customer-specific defaults for sales order payment requests. This is a topic that's covered in other videos, so I won't talk about it now, but just very, very briefly, if I exit this page and return to my payment platform, there's some platform-specific defaults that deal with how payments are processed from sales orders. You can assign customer-specific values on that customer card, as I showed, and when a sales order is set up for that given customer, those values will override the platform-specific ones. It's also possible to send a Business Central customer to Stripe. This is useful if the customer exists in Business Central but not Stripe. So for example, we have a customer record here. And we've added a fact box to the customer card, payment platform links, and you can see currently it's blank. So we set up a customer in Business Central. This customer record does not exist in Stripe. What we can do is navigate to the Actions ribbon and choose the Create Payment Platform Link action. The customer's information is going to be sent to Stripe and a new customer record is created. This information is then retrieved back into Business Central. If we look now at this fact box, we can see the Stripe ID is present. And that's it for customers. As I mentioned earlier, it is necessary for you to link your customers. I talked a little bit about products, and when we get to product linkage, it's really more dependent on your business. It's possible to use Stripe to set up and manage recurring subscriptions for products. It's important to note that in this case, what Stripe calls a quote product is really any sort of sellable good. So things like services, for example, would be set up as products in Stripe. If you use this functionality in Stripe, CPM can be instructed to retrieve this information into Business Central, then automatically create and post sales invoices. That process, that configuration process is discussed in another video, but as part of that setup, it's necessary for you to link Stripe products to Business Central records. Now, as you might imagine, the process is not much different from customers. From the payment platform card, I select Actions and Retrieve Products. CPM will retrieve any product data from Stripe, and if I choose the related ribbon and then Products, I can see this retrieved information here. Again, we have a product-specific ID that we've retrieved from Stripe, as well as some other information such as name and description. To link these to a Business Central record, I would first use the sales line type field to indicate the record type. And these options are taken directly from the sales, or this correspond to a sales line. Because again, we're creating sales documents for these subscription invoices. So we can pick whatever kind of line type we want to be created. Again, if we take something like a subscription service, for example, we might want to pick a GL account. Depending on what we select here, we can then fill in the other values as needed. given an account number and then potentially a variant or something like a unit of measure code. When subscription invoices are retrieved from Stripe, the sales lines on those invoices are going to be built according to this setup. And that concludes the presentation of how to link customers and products between Stripe and Business Central. To reiterate, in all cases, you'll want to perform the customer linkage, while the product linking will vary depending on your business needs. Thanks for watching this video. If you have questions on setting up other parts of your CPM solution, please be sure to check out our other published videos.